Hello there, this is DBT, and these are the Vrooms. And alright, let's talk and play some Asphalt 9 on Nintendo Switch. And oh man, it's finally here. The Raging Bull season has begun, and along with it, there is the beautiful Lamborghini Countach LPI 800-4. Oh, what a beauty of a car this is, what a mess of a season it is. Now, this is gonna be a bit of a tough one because I need to explain to you why this season it's absolutely terrible. This is possibly the worst season that was released in Asphalt 9 in a very long time, and there's good reason for it. So, why is this season so hated? Well, it has to do precisely with the main car of the update, this beauty, the Lamborghini Countach LPI, which is what I call it, because Countach could refer to a Countach that is coming up later, but whatever, the Countach LPI. So, this car is, in theory, the new king of Class A. It's the highest ranked Class A car, and honestly, it's a fantastic car. It drives like a dream, and in fact, let me see if I can find a match over here in the free try so that you can see it while I drive it and while I talk about it. Alright, perfect. Auckland, I love this track. So, this car is meant to be the new king of Class A. Is it really the king of kings of Class A? Not quite, from what I understand. It's a really good car, but apparently it can still be beaten by other kings of the same class in certain tracks and whatnot. Regardless, it's still a fantastic car, it's a beautiful one, it's a Lambo, it's amazing, right? That's the whole idea. So again, this is the main car of this entire season. But this is not a car that you can get through a special event. Oh no, this is a car you get through the Legend Pass. What? A king? It's a king of Class A, it's the Legend Pass car? Yes it is. That sounds amazing, right? Except that it isn't. It's anything but amazing, and that is precisely why this season is absolutely terrible. And it all has to do with the structure of the Legend Pass, which is, while somewhat familiar because it's a Legend Pass after all, they really switched up, or they really changed how it works and how you could possibly acquire this car. I'm gonna show you the LP just so that you see it. I just wanted you to look at this beauty because man, it really do be a fantastic car. And by the way, in case you don't know, this Countach is meant to look, or it's meant to be a reimagination of the Countach, the original Countach model, the, what is it, the P500? Not the Countach models that came out afterwards with the big wing and tons of air. No. This is meant to look slick like the original, and I think they did a fantastic job, and I love it. But yeah, let's have a look at the Legend Pass, because man, that's where things really get complicated over here. So, even though the season just began, you'll notice that I'm already pretty far up in it. I will explain why, but that's for later in the video. First, I just want to give you an idea as to how this season works, or this Legend Pass works. So like I said, it's very similar to what you already know. You know, there's the free lane, there's a premium lane, and in the premium lane you can unlock the car. Now, normally a car that it's a Legend Pass car, you can acquire it, you can unlock it from the very beginning, but that is not the case over here. In fact, in order to actually unlock the car, which is a key car, you get the key at the very last level, at level 50. That's when you get the key. So it sounds normal, right? Oh well, you just level up until you get over there, and that's that. The situation is that it's not easy to level up, and the very first thing that it's different is the fact that you cannot buy levels. Normally, for example, you can see over here level 24, so I'm on level 23. If I wanted to get to level 24, you have the option to just pay tokens normally. That's how you can level up if you don't want to do the missions, so you don't want to wait for all of the missions. That option is gone over here. There's no way for you to pay tokens to level up. So, normally, while you would need to spend a really considerable amount of tokens in order to buy all of the levels if you just wanted to speed run all the way to the final level, it was a possibility, but not in this one. In here, they removed it. Now, why would they remove it? Well, obviously because they don't want you to get this car so easily. But then you might think, well, then just do the missions and you'll be fine, right? Because normally you can get to the maximum level by doing all of the missions throughout all of the weeks. Oh, but here's where things really get messy. The missions are a bit of a pain in the rear. You can see over here, well, I've already done some of these missions, let's say the easier ones, the generic ones that don't have any specific requirements of cars or anything like that. So I've done all of this is fine, not a problem. But if you look at the ones that are highlighted, the ones that give the most points, they already have some very peculiar requirements. For example, over here, I need to do a particular race in a particular event with the Lamborghini SC20. Now, if we look over here, they ask for the SC18, then they ask for the Miura Concept, and then the Essenza, and the Miura Concept again, and this is precisely where the problem lies. They ask you to use cars. Normally, when they ask you to use some cars, it normally tends to be free try cars in events that are going to be happening throughout the season, so that it's normally not a problem. However, that is not the case for a lot of this. In here, in order to do it, you need to be driving the SC20, and while maybe this is available as a free try, from what I remember, it's actually a limitation where the cars that you can free try are not at the maximum rank. It's at whatever stars you have them. If you don't have the car, you never got any stars for it, shame on you, because that's going to be a problem. So over here, just in order to start doing these missions, I need to have 2 Lambos that are very rare. Now, me, DBT, as the Lambo lover that I am, I have those cars because I've always known that I wanted to get every single Lambo that I could in this game, so this is not a problem. But for the general Joe, this is going to be a problem because these are very rare cars that unless you happen to have been around where the cars were available, you are really probably not going to have them. Then they ask to use some other cars like the Miura, and yeah, the Miura in this case. The Miura is a car that is featured in this season. There will be a way to do these races, so this is not a problem yet. There is a problem, however, with this one, but we will get to talk about this particular car a little bit later on. Now, I want to show you something, a YouTube video that was published a very long time ago, but I think it's going to be really helpful to demonstrate why this LP, this Legend Pass, is such a bunch of BS. And for that, I'm going to use this video by, I don't know how to pronounce that, Akadir CSR2. I don't know, I'll put a link to his channel in this video in the description if you want to check it out. But let's just rewind a little bit over here. This is, again, a video from a year ago when the Raging Bull season began. I really am resisting to not say bull, you know, just saying. But anyway, for some reason, this person was able to see all of the requirements of the season, of the season missions. Now, normally these are locked based on your week. For example, right now in the actual game, we're on the very first week, so we only get to see the episode 1 missions. We don't get to see the episode 2, 3, 4, 5. But over here, like I said, for some reason he was able to see it, so let's have a look. Now, these are already the ones that I already shown you, so that's not a big deal. But let's forward a little bit into episode 2, which is the second week. Now, here's where things really start showing, or where it really starts showing what is the deal with this whole thing. You can see that for this one, they require you to use the Lamborghini Countach LPI 800. That's for the new car. Now, you might be thinking, DBT, you were just driving that car at its maximum rank, right? So why is this a problem? Well, by the time this episode begin, that free try of the Countach is gone. So in order to get this done, you already need to have the car at this amount of stars. Now, they give you there's some events, I believe, where you will be able to drive the car, but you are limited to driving it exclusively to the level that you have the car currently. Because, you know, you may not own a car, for example, specifically the key cars. You may be able to start up the car all the way to the maximum rank, but if you don't own the key, well, you don't get to drive the car normally. But if there's a place where they allow you to drive the car wherever you have it, well, that's the situation over here. So they require you to use the Countach LPI already at 2 stars already. Second week, they want you to have it at 2 stars already. Then we have the Sesto Elemento, a car that has its special event running right now. Same thing, they want you to use this car at 2 stars. Jesus. All right, next up we have another one for the Lamborghini Diablo GT, which is a car, again, that is going to be made available in this season, which you can only acquire normally, at least that's how it was in Global, through the store by purchasing either with real money or with tokens. So yeah, this is another one that's like, hey, you want to do this mission? Well, guess what? You need to already own that car. So that is another problem. And not only at 1 star, they already want you to have it at 2 stars. Not happy with just needing that car, they want you to have it at 2 stars. Now over here you can see they require the Cyan at 2 stars and then the Miura Concept at 3. Now normally the Miura Concept is made available in Grand Prix later. I think next week it should start. I tell you from experience, whenever I do a Grand Prix, normally you can only get the car to 2 stars by just the blueprint that you get through the Grand Prix. If you want to take it to 3 stars like it's required over here, guess what? You're going to need to spend tokens in order to do that. So there you go. You need to already be spending additional tokens just to do that. Now let's go into the third week, episode 3, and let's have a look. Again, they're asking for the Countach already at 3 stars. Remember, 1 week before that was 2, now it's 3. Sesto Elemento at 3 stars, again, same situation. Reventon Roadster, another car that is going to be a Grand Prix. And guess what? To do this mission, you need to have it at 4 stars. 4 stars! Jesus Christ! Lambo Diablo GT at 3 stars, and then if we look a little bit further down, Lambo Sienna 3 stars, SE20 at 3 stars. Again, rare cars, you need to have them if you want to do the missions. Now, this is important because normally the missions, as I mentioned earlier, the missions normally are very doable. You can just do it so long as you're doing it in time. And normally in the week where the missions are, there's going to be a special event where you can complete all of the missions, but not here. These missions are locked behind you owning, or at least having the cars to a certain star level, which is absolutely insane. For the 4th week, same thing. The Reventon Roadster at 4 stars, the Diablo GT at 4 stars already. Remember, this is the car that you can only get through money or tokens. There's no other ways to really get this car, and they wanted to have it at 4 stars. Sienna at 4 stars, SE18, again, very rare car at 4 stars, SCV12 at 4 stars, and then the rest of the requirements are just the generic one. And finally, for the last week, I think I went a little bit too far ahead. Alright, they want you to have the SE20, very rare car, at 5 stars, the SCV12 at 5 stars, meaning max stars for this one. Mira Concept at 4, remember the one for the Grand Prix, they want you to have it at 4 star. Sesto Elemento, the one for the special event, at 4 stars, because there's a special event running for this car right now. These requirements are absolutely insane. So when you really think about it, this whole thing of the season missions in this Legend Pass, it really is not a Legend Pass. What it really is, it's a special event. It has all of the what would you say, the things that make a special events, where they require you to have a bunch of other cars at certain amount of stars in order to get what you need to eventually get to the additional rewards. This is a special event with the disguise of a Legend Pass, which makes it so that in order to participate, to maybe get your Countach API, you already need to be spending money just to enter it. And this is why this season is so hated. Because they completely switched the format of the Legend Pass, where it was normally a way for you to get the Legend Pass car, which normally is not a great car, but it can be alright. And they were like, no, this time it's an amazing car, yeah, but you Gameloft made it impossible to get unless you happen to be have an insane garage, or you're willing to spend ridiculous amounts of tokens or money in order to acquire this car. This is absolutely insane, and it really is kind of insulting. A year ago in the global version, everybody was upset, very rightly so. I made some videos about it. I'll try to put a link to those videos at the end of this one, because man, I was really literally raging about this whole thing. It was absolutely insane. But anyway, so that is the whole thing about why this season it's so terrible. Now, what I want to talk about is what is actually happening with the issues that were brought upon this update on the Nintendo Switch, because there's a bunch of them. The very first issue, and I really cannot show it to you because, well, I never owned the car, but even if I did at this point, that is the issue. The car is gone. The Automobile Inferno, it's gone from the garage. Why? We don't know. It just seems to be a bug. It seems very unlikely that they would just delete a car like that for no reason. Even when normally there are licensing issues, what they do is they don't make it available to acquire anymore. But if you own it, and you can still use it. But right now, that car is completely gone from the garage, and we just don't know why. Like I said, I think it's just a bug, and it will probably be fixed, and anybody that had that car should probably get it back. But for the time being, it's gone, and well, we just don't know what's going on. Now, that is one specific issue that is not related to anything. Now, I'm going to talk about issues related to the Raging Bull season itself. Now, as I mentioned, when I was looking at the missions over here, you see this mission right here. They are asking you to use the Essenza SCV12. Now, if we go real quick over here to the special events and we check what's going on the Sesto Elemento, you will see that from the cars that are required, in stage 4, I'm required to also own the Essenza SCV12. Now, why is this an issue? Well, turns out that it seems that Gameloft forgot that they never made this car available. Never. This car has been on the files for over a year, and the car has never been available for anybody to acquire. Because in order to do the whole thing of aligning seasons and whatnot, I've talked about this a bunch of times, in order to align the season timing compared to the global, they had to skip a season and make another season short. Specifically, the Italian season, they cut it in half. And because of that, we never got the Grand Prix for this car. So that is why nobody owns this car. But like I said, it seems that Gameloft forgot, because they still ask you to own this car in order to do this stage for and other stage further over here. The stage for the special event, and also for a bunch of the missions for the Legend Pass. But we don't own the car. Now, technically speaking, there's a way for you to get it right now, and that is through the shop. By purchasing these key packs. You can buy key packs, and if you're lucky enough, you will be able to get the key for that car. But your chances to get a key are ridiculously low to begin with. And then on top of that, to get that specific car, I mean, just do the math. It's going to be terrible. So if you want to get this car right now, you have to gamble your tokens in order to get it. Is it worth it? Only if you really want the car. I do, but I'm going to wait, and I'll talk about that in a little bit later on this video. But anyway, that is the first thing. The fact that they're asking for a car that you don't own because they completely forgot that they never made it available. Why not? Now, another issue specific to this season is the fact, as I was showing over here, the Lamborghini Countach free trial right now, it does have, as usual, some decent rewards, some credits, some... this is the important part, obviously, the Epic Import part for the car. But as it stands right now, it's showing up to be kind of difficult to get over there, because apparently the score that you're getting per race is very low, and on top of that, it's with limited fuel. I'm gonna refuel it right now, but whatever. Because I own the Legend Pass, I have 5 fuel, but normally this car, it's one of those cars that only have 3 fuel. So imagine 3 fuel, and you gotta do 3 races, then wait like an hour and some, and then do 3 more races to eventually get to a 3,000 score. It's kind of ridiculous. So that's another bit of a problem over here, but this should be relatively easily fixable by just tweaking some numbers. But therein comes a problem that has been happening right now. They dropped this patch on a Friday, and they were like, well, it's Friday, there's your patch, goodbye, see you on Monday. They literally dropped it at their end of the day, and well, yeah, whatever issues are out there, you gotta live with them for the weekend. Beautiful, beautiful planning. Now, another issue, again, related to this, although it kind of comes to other situation, in the daily events, there's normally the elite type of events, right? In this case, Elite Class C. Well, guess what? They're already asking you to own and race with the Lamborghini Diablo GT, the one that I mentioned that you can normally only get through deals or packs, whatever, in the shop. They already are asking you to have this car in order to get these tokens for this one. That is kind of BS, because, of course, right now there's no way to get this car, and this event is gonna end in like, what, 4 days and 15 hours, as it says on the top left. So that's another bit of an issue. You're gonna miss out on how many tokens? Well, 25 tokens for finishing the race with it, but still, it's tokens, they're valuable. And apparently there was some bad planning, but it really wasn't bad planning as to why this car is already being asked over there. This whole thing has to do with a little bit of an issue, a little bit of a thing that Gameloft did to be tricky with their updates. Now, real quick, the updating in the Nintendo Switch has always been problematic for Gameloft, because apparently, once they have a new update, they have to send it to Nintendo, and Nintendo has to approve it, and it could happen in a matter of 1 day, or it could happen in a matter of a week. So it's a bit difficult for Gameloft to do this. So what they have tried to do before, and that's exactly what they did this time, is to merge updates into one update. So let me try to explain. Right now we're in the Raging Bull season, right? Now it's a peculiar situation because the Raging Bull season, it lasts 5 weeks. Normally they used to last 8 weeks, but from this point onwards they're gonna be short seasons. But anyway, it's gonna be the Raging Bull season. Then there's 3 weeks for what was the anniversary season in global, but that is one update, right? The update contained the data for those 2 mini seasons, and then the next update would be the one for Bring the Heat, with the Bring the Heat season, which would last 4 weeks or whatever. Now, I bring this whole thing up because what they did is they brought all the stuff from Bring the Heat into the update that already contains the stuff for Raging Bull. How do I know this? Well, it's actually very easy to know, because if you go to the garage, and excuse me, the Switch always takes a little bit to get to the garage. I don't know why, but anyway, If we look over here, well, where is it? There it is. Renault Desire. This car gets released in the Bring the Heat, but it's already showing up over here. That's not the only one though. Also the Bugatti EV110, it's a car for Bring the Heat, but it's already showing over here. There's also the McLaren, is it in Class B, I think, or is it Class A? I don't even know. Oh yeah, there it is. The McLaren 7065 LT. Then there's also the Bentley in Class A, the Bentley Continental GT Speed. This one right here. So all of these cars are from the next update, but they're already showing up over here because they merge all of the data into this update. Now the season, obviously, it's not the Raging Bull season and Bring the Heat season are not going to happen at the same time. It's just the data that is there. But why do I bring this whole thing up? Because doing this brought a bunch of issues over here. The one that I mentioned already, the fact that the Diablo GT is already being required to be used in Elite Class C. Why is that the case? Well, it's because in Bring the Heat, the Elite would be McLaren GT, Gallardo, the Horsaria, the Diablo, and the Ferrari. Those are the ones that should be showing up. We never got the Bram as an Elite car. It should have been for about 1 month an Elite car, but not over here because this whole thing is already counting the event as if this time already passed and we already finished the Raging BS season, and now, well, those are the 5 cars. So that is one of these issues that happened from them merging the 2 updates. Now it's a little bit of a situation. Remember I said that they brought also this Bentley Continental? Well, when they brought this Bentley and Bring the Heat in the global version, they did a noopsie, and for some reason they assigned the stats of this car to the Bentley Continental GT3, the one in Class D, and suddenly they made this car ridiculously OP, and that seems to be the case here too. Except that in the global version, it only happened for 1 season for the Bring the Heat, but because over here they merged the data into this update, this bug, unless they fix it at some point soon, this issue with the OP Bentley Continental GT3 is gonna be there for the entirety of Raging Bull, for the entirety of the mini anniversary season, and then for the entirety of Bring the Heat. So that's gonna be a bug for 2 months as opposed to just 1. So yeah, there's a bunch of these little weird situations that are a side effect from merging 2 updates into, or rather the data of 2 updates into just 1. The timing of the updates will remain normal, but it's all that data that is conflicting with each other. It's a weird situation. Again, Gameloft apparently was just trying to get ahead of Nintendo and their BS, but here we are, having to live with these bugs. Now, as far as what else has been happening over here, well, again, I just talked a lot about the whole thing with the Countach and how ridiculously difficult it is to get, and you might be thinking, so DBT, are you going for the Countach or not? The answer is yes. Yes, I am going for the Countach LPI. You can see I already have some blueprints for it, obviously, because of the Legend Pass. And remember earlier that I said about the Legend Pass that I had a bunch of progress on it? Well, here's the thing about it. Even though it's the first week, you can see that I'm already at tier 23. How did I get there? Well, first of all, I had to get the Legend Pass, obviously, to even have any access to maybe getting the car, right? So that is already one thing where you gotta go premium in order to get it. That is understandable. I did it. It's fine. But I got the bundle that unlocks the first 15 levels. You know, that's always available like that. You can buy the regular LP, or you can get the bundle Legend Pass, which is ever so slightly more expensive. Well, it depends on if you have been buying previous LPs, or Legend Passes, I mean, LP Legend Pass. But yeah, so I got the one that unlocks the first 15 levels. Why? Because, well, obviously, as I explained earlier, you're gonna want to have as much of an advantage in regards of the levels as quickly as you can. And skipping the first 15 levels means that any amount of points that you get from the missions are gonna start counting from the level 15 onwards. So you already have a head start of 15 levels, so maybe you'll have a decent chance to get to the Countach LPI, and that's what happened to me in the global version. I got the 15 level Legend Pass or bundle or whatever. I actually got pretty close to tier, I believe I got to 44, something like that. So obviously I did not get to level 15 or tier 50 to get the car, but you know, I was able to do a bunch of progress. So that is understandable. I did not unlock the car in global a year ago. But why do I tell you all of this? Well, right now I do have a pretty decent garage where I do own several of the cars that are required, So my chances to get to the key of the car are very likely. So like I said, I think I got around here in the global version a year ago. So considering the additional cars that I do own in this version that I did not own in the global version a year ago, maybe that'll be enough to get to tier 50 and get the car. That sounds good, right? Except that there's a little bit of a caveat. What happens if with the garage that I have, I happen to reach tier 49, and that's as far as I'm gonna get? I would hate life at that moment, because I would be like, I'm so close to get the car, and I didn't. What can you do at that point? Well, actually, you can go into the shop, and they sell you additional bundles where you can, for money, get additional levels done. They normally come in packs of 5 levels. You can buy the bundle for level 15 to 20, or maybe from 20 to 25, 25 to 30, so on and so forth. So one would say, well, when you're at 49, if you didn't get to tier 50, you just buy the last bundle, right? With some money, and that's how you guarantee getting the key. Well, here's the situation. Those things go increasing in price massively according to the level that you want to skip. And that is what I wanted to talk about, the fact that I did get the one from 15 to 20, and that's why now it offers me the one from 20 to 25. The prices really start escalating ridiculously quickly. For 15 to 20, it costs something like, I don't quite remember. I think it was $20. I believe so. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it was. From 15 to 20. But the next one from 20 to 25, it already costs more than double that. I don't know how much it would be from 25 to 30, but let me tell you, it would be very expensive. So imagine how expensive would it be the one for 45 to 50. So thinking about that, maybe that could happen. There could be a situation in which I'm so close to get the car, but I don't actually get it, and that I would need to spend a ridiculous amount of money just to get that. I decided to preemptively get the one from 15 to 20, and that should all but guarantee me getting to eventually tier 50. Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. But at this time, I mean, I can only hope for it. And yeah, that is kind of where I am at. I have a bunch of tokens. You can see that I'm almost at 70,000. I do have a plan on how I'm going to be spending those, basically to spread them in all of the Lambos that are featured in this season. The Miura, the Miura, the Reventon. Like I mentioned, there's already a special event going on for the Sesto Elemento. And actually, I could start already buying packs, because I do have a certain amount of tokens that I'm gonna spend in buying packs to get the Sesto Elemento. Why haven't I done it just yet? Well, because I'm waiting to see what is Gameloft gonna do about the SCV12, the card that they skipped some time ago, this beauty over here. Like I said, at this current moment in time, the only way to get this card is only through buying the packs in the store, right? The hoping that you get lucky and get the key for this beauty. But everybody brought this issue to Gameloft as soon as this happened in for the Switch, and saying like, wait a second, you're asking us to use a card that you never made available. What's the deal with that? And they did say that they're gonna see how they're gonna solve this. I suggested, as a lot of people have suggested this, it's not like it's just my idea, but maybe an Unleash would be a good way to get this card. In a way that it's not ridiculously expensive to get the key. Kind of like they did with the Volkswagen W12, is that what it's called? W12? Whatever. Where they did an Unleash, and that was an Elite Class B card. This is not Elite at all, but still. For that card, they did an Unleash, and it was not super difficult to get the key. You only needed to have the card at 3 stars to guarantee the key. So if they could do something like that for this card and get the key in a guaranteed fashion, that's where I'm going to be also spending a bunch of tokens. So basically, I do have a bit of a budget for each one of the events or Lambos. I'm not going to give you right now that map, because, you know, that's content for more videos. But I just wanted to talk about it real quick, because I know some of you know that this is the season that I've been waiting for. That's why I've been saving so many tokens, and well, we'll see how it pans out. But I just wanted to give you the whole idea of what has been happening in this update, the bugs, the issues, why this season is so hated. So there you go. Just wanted to give you that whole picture. But that's gonna do it for this video. You may want to check this video over here, which I recorded a year ago, precisely about the Raging BS season. Just be warned, I was much more vulgar in my language over there, but it will show you how it was frustrating a year ago. Pretty much as it is frustrating right now. But that's all for right now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.